Welcome to Wannabe Clutter-Free, formerly Wannabe Minimalist, the podcast for busy families who are tired of the chaos, fed up with being overwhelmed, and ready to enjoy life again. Each week, we talk about how to let go of the clutter so that you can focus on the things that actually matter. And it's not just physical clutter. We talk about the mental and emotional stuff too, because if it's holding you back, it's time to ditch it. I share what I've done in my own life to declutter, organize, and calm the chaos, but you won't just hear it from me. There are amazing guests too. It's practical, doable, and simple for those of us that want to be clutter-free. Do you ever find yourself staring into your closet, feeling like you've got tons of clothes but nothing to wear? Well, I've discovered a fabulous solution that's perfect for us busy women. Armoire. Armoire offers high-quality, unique brands tailored just for you. All it takes is a quick 5-minute style quiz and voila, you get a personalized closet from which to choose. The best part, these stylish outfits are delivered straight to your door in just a couple of days. I just returned from a podcast conference and Armoire saved the day when it came down to what to wear. I wore these super cute wide leg jeans from Paige to the day portion of the conference, and that night I wore cropped wide leg vegan leather pants and an asymmetrical striped sweater. I got compliments all night and had people mentioning my outfit the next day. Then I was able to simply send it back for something new. No clutter, no fuss, no special laundry. And it's not just about looking good, it's about feeling good too. Armoire is all about sustainable fashion, so you can stay trendy without the waste. Plus, it's women-founded and led, supporting women designers and aligning perfectly with our values of empowerment and community. Right now, my listeners can give Armoire a try and get up to 50% off their first month. That's up to $125 off. Just visit armoire.style/wanna. That's armoire.style, ARMOIRE.style/wanna to get up to 50% off your first month. And never worry about what to wear again. Try Armoire today. Hey, my friend, welcome back to the show. My name is Deanna Yates, and you are listening to episode 205 of the Wannabe Clutter-Free podcast. On today's episode, we are talking about capsule wardrobes. These are always a hit when I talk about them, so much so that I am, in fact, running a free summit next week all about capsule wardrobes. We have professional stylists, color experts, confidence coaches, therapists, dermatologists, makeup artists, minimalists, people that have done 40 plus capsule wardrobes. We have financial planners that can help you figure out how to pay for your new capsule wardrobe. I take a really holistic approach when it comes to everything I do, and this capsule wardrobe is no different. I feel like once you understand how to dress your body and how you can feel better about the clothes you're wearing, you will feel better as you go out into the day. It will make you happier. It will make you a better, my 3 Ps, person, partner, and parent. And it will just make the world a better place because you will be living more authentically, and that, my dear, will just light up the world, okay? So that is really my approach to everything. So if you are interested in capsule wardrobes, I'm just going to go ahead and plug it right up here at the start. Head on over to chaos2calmsummit.com and you can get your ticket for the free summit that is next week. We have 21 speakers that are coming and bringing the heat. So definitely check it out. All right, so what are we going to cover today? Well, today I'm going to talk about my journey into capsule wardrobes and why it was so just life-changing for me and what it has done for me. And I'm going to talk about the embarrassing story for why we started to dress a little bit better. It was just kind of a funny little quirk and just one of those moments that can happen in everyday life and you don't really think about it. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I should probably make a change. And so I'm going to talk to you about that today too. So I'm really excited. Like I said, capsules and wardrobes and cleaning out closets is really a big topic every time I talk about it. So I think you're going to love today. And if you do love today, can you do me a favor and share this episode with a friend? In fact, invite them along to that free summit with you, and you guys can work on it together and have an accountability partner. And if you need somebody to try on clothes with, that is the perfect person to bring with you because it's really hard when you are putting things on, I think sometimes before we learn to trust ourselves, to know what we should keep and what we want to keep. So having a friend there, it's just more fun and it gives you somebody to bounce your maybe pile off of. All right. And then also, if you like what you hear, if you could leave a review for the show, that would be really helpful as well. All right, but let's get into it. I am going to talk today about what a capsule wardrobe is. We're going to start there. We're going to start with the history of it. There is actually a history of capsule wardrobes. Then we're going to talk about the key principles and what a capsule wardrobe actually entails. Then we're going to talk about the benefits of a capsule wardrobe and why I love them so much. And we will talk briefly about how to create a capsule wardrobe, basically how I've created one. But like I said, in that summit next week, there are going to be 5 speakers talking about capsule wardrobes. We're going to be talking about identifying your personal style so that you understand what kinds of clothes you should have in your capsule wardrobe. Also, your lifestyle, because what you do and how you live your life really determines what you need in your capsule wardrobe as well. We do have some color experts as well. They will be talking about color palettes and then kind of talking about what we need in our capsules. So I will briefly touch on these things, but again, the experts are all in that summit next week. I really found some amazing people to come talk to you. And then I will talk to you about my upcoming travels and what I am looking and packing in my capsule. I'm actually looking to update mine. It has been a long time since I've purchased any clothes, and so I'm actually looking forward to revamping my wardrobe with all of the information I've learned from these lovely speakers and am putting together a capsule wardrobe for myself. So we'll talk about that today. All right, let's start with that embarrassing story, shall we? All right, so I will admit, growing up, for me, clothes were just utility. I felt like it was frivolous to have, and not necessarily frivolous to have nice clothes, but clothes just were never something that I was super drawn to growing up. I've always been very utilitarian. I remember in junior high, I would wear colored Guess shorts, and then I would wear just a plain V-neck oversized t-shirt. I would have a huge zip-up hoodie. I mean, I literally think I stole my dad's zip-up hoodies to wear. And I will tell you, I was probably 5'5" and 90 pounds. So these things were huge. They probably fit me like a dress. And then I would also wear like white crew length socks pulled up, and then Van shoes, like the classic skater Van shoes. This is what I wore pretty much every day. So I have always been drawn toward this simplistic wardrobe. And then as I got older and had all these messages come at me, I really kind of exploded. But I wouldn't say that the clothes were actually great. During kind of the early adult phase of my life, in my 20s, I was really influenced by where I lived and who I hung out with. And I think that's very common for a lot of us to face, those kinds of temptations and not knowing what our real style is. Or if your style is really simple, like mine is, feeling like it's not enough. And I think that's where I have come to terms with now, understanding that I have a classic and very just relaxed style, and my lifestyle affords me that luxury to be able to wear clothes that are relaxing and simple. So knowing that my style growing up was very, very simple, and now it's very, very simple again, this middle is kind of this convoluted mess, right? So this story comes from when we lived in Des Moines. Now, we would have before this lived in Chicago when I would have worked downtown. And so I had decent style there. I had office style, but personally, I don't know that my personal style was ever that great. But we had moved from there to Boulder. And I will say Boulder, Colorado, I will tell you it has this lovely little nickname, and GQ magazine gave it this nickname. It is the city that looks the worst dressed, but the best naked. I.e., people don't wear the best clothes, but they work out a lot, so they're really fit and they look good without their clothes on, but they don't do a very good job of putting outfits together. So this is Boulder, right? And again, I'm very influenced by where I live. So we were working in the startup scene, so it was a lot of graphic tees and very tech boy heavy, okay? So we now lived in Des Moines. I was a mom at this point, and we weren't sure if we were going to have a second child. So my style was just kind of like whatever fit me at the time, right? I wasn't back to my pre-baby weight, but I wasn't really working hard on it either, which, that's for another day. I was just shopping for and just bringing home things that I thought were cute, but I didn't necessarily pay attention to if they went together. And we were at a party of our friends, and she had posted pictures on Facebook of everybody that had been at the party. And she went around and she was taking pictures of all the families that came together or the groups of people that came together. And our picture was the only one that was in black and white. And everybody else was in color. And I thought that was just really strange because, of course, if half of them were in black and white, I wouldn't have even thought about it. But we were the only ones. And so I asked her about it. And she's like, oh, yeah, well, your outfits kind of didn't go together. And it was at that moment where I realized, like, I just dressed for utility, and the clothing that we were wearing, I went more for fit maybe and not necessarily for look. And so that was the wake up call for me. That was my aha moment of like, I should probably put a little more effort into this, because if people aren't wanting to post pictures of us together, that's kind of strange. And we can say that that was superficial of her and whatever, but I take it more as a teaching moment of like, people are noticing other things and maybe you should notice them too. If you don't care about what people think of you or how you feel in this, you're probably not listening to this episode. But if you're listening to this episode about capsule wardrobes, you probably want to feel put together and putting your best foot forward when you leave the house and liking how you look, and that makes you feel better about yourself, and you want to be able to do it in a simple way. This is all the stuff I wanted, and I just hadn't really thought about it or put the effort into doing it. So after having this moment, I started putting in the effort. I started paying attention, and it really worked for me when we went to travel. So we went to travel, and it was going to be an indefinite period of time. We thought we might move to Germany, but we spent the first part of that traveling around Europe for the summer. And so I knew we would be traveling a lot of different places, and I wanted something that wasn't going to be difficult to carry with us. And I had always been able to do carry-on travel pretty easily, but with 3 of us, I wanted us to now look put together, feel put together, and just kind of elevate our style a little bit. So I set a color palette for our entire family. So the 3 of us all had very neutral colors, and then our daughter was our pop of color because she likes color. She doesn't want to be neutral. And so she was our pop. So we had a lot of pinks in there for her, but then we were in black, whites, camels, denim, things like that were the colors that worked for us. And so that worked really well. And I loved our outfits, and I loved how simple it was for all of us to get dressed. And so that's when I realized that capsule wardrobes were not only a great way to travel, but they were just a great way to be able to put together outfits and love how I felt. I felt good about myself, and I felt put together without having to put in a lot of effort. Because sometimes when I put in effort, or when I feel like I'm putting in a lot of effort, it makes me feel like I'm trying too hard. And it's not bad to try too hard, but I have a block against that. And so I want it to be easy so that I can not feel like I'm trying to, I don't know, show off, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense and doesn't come across as, weird. But anyway, that helps me. When it's easy, then I feel like it's worth it. All right. So let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the definition of what a capsule wardrobe actually is. There is a very specific thing. And then we're going to talk about the history of it as well. See you in a second. Hey everyone, today I want to talk to you about something that's helping me show up as my best self, hormone harmony. For any woman navigating the ups and downs of hormonal change, whether you're in your 20s or past 40, this is something you'll want to hear about. I started taking hormone harmony because lately I've been feeling off balance, I was snacking more, feeling sluggish, and just not like myself. I was pretty flat. And that's when I found hormone harmony. It's been a game changer. It's not only for those of us that might be hitting perimenopause, but for any woman who feels like their hormones could be more in sync. Did you know a bottle of hormone harmony is sold every 24 seconds? Yep, it's that popular. And it's not hard to see why. This wonderful supplement is packed with adaptogens. These are science-backed herbal extracts that help your body adapt to stress and minimize those annoying hormonal fluctuations. So whether it's hot flashes, night sweats, mood swings, or just feeling perpetually tired, Hormone Harmony addresses all of these symptoms gently and effectively. And for those navigating the tricky waters of perimenopause, it is nothing short of a lifesaver. The company behind Hormone Harmony, Happy Mammoth, is all about making women's health simpler and safer. Their products are sugar-free, gluten-free, dairy-free, non-GMO, and third-party tested to ensure the highest quality. And the best part? Women are reporting they feel like themselves again. If you're ready to start feeling like yourself again, I've got great news. For a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use the code WANNA at checkout. That's happymammoth.com with the code WANNA, WANNA, for 15% off your first order. Don't miss out on this incredible offer.
I'm Margaret.
And I'm Amy.
And together we host the podcast, What Fresh Hell? Laughing in the Face of Motherhood.
Margaret, I would say you're sort of a where are my keys kind of mom.
Correct. Sometimes a where are my kids kind of mom. Well, you're, Amy, more of a we were supposed to leave 35 seconds ago, mom.
I mean, touche. In each episode of What Fresh Hell, we come at a topic from our usually completely opposite perspectives. I bring the research.
And I bring kind of the gimlet eye. Like, is that research really going to work, people?
And almost 10 million downloads later, we're still laughing.
We also talk to experts in the parenting field, plus parents with stories we can all learn from.
We make each other laugh, we challenge each other's assumptions, and we have what we think is the best parenting community on the internet.
Check out What Fresh Hell? Laughing in the Face of Motherhood wherever you listen to podcasts.
Welcome back. All right, let's talk about the definition of a capsule wardrobe. A capsule wardrobe is a curated collection of clothing items that are versatile, timeless, and coordinated. Typically, a capsule wardrobe is going to consist of 30 to 40 pieces, and the aim is to maximize the number of outfit combinations while minimizing the overall number of items. And that's a more sophisticated way to say mix and match, right? Maximizing the combinations. Generally, they focus on quality over quantity. So this concept promotes simplicity, functionality, and ease in dressing. It allows individuals to streamline their wardrobe, reduce decision fatigue, and ensure that each piece is practical and suits their personal style and lifestyle needs. So remember when I talked earlier about the lifestyle needs? So for me, my life is all pretty much the same. It all kind of meshes. Like, I don't need really different outfits. I am a work from home mom. I walk my daughter to school. I'm on the PTA board. Date nights are pretty casual for us. We don't go out clubbing anymore. So I don't need a lot of fancy outfits. I don't need corporate outfits where I'm working out of an office. And so it allows me to really pare down and have things in my closet that fit a pretty easy grouping of activities. So that is where those lifestyle needs kind of fit in with what a capsule wardrobe is. Now, the more varying your activities in your life are, the more items you're going to need in your capsule. So there is a definition for one, but it's not one that we have to be very strict about. And that, I think, was really helpful for me when I realized that it's just a guideline, right? It's not a hard and fast rule. There are no capsule wardrobe police. Nobody's going to be knocking on your door and checking how many things you have, but it's just a great way for you to be able to say like, okay, maybe I don't need so many pieces if they can mix and match, and I can have this capsule for this activity and this capsule for this activity. And there may be a few things that can overlap, but they don't necessarily have to. And you don't have to say like, oh my gosh, I can only have so many things, but I've got all these different activities I need to do. So it's okay to have a little bit of variance there. All right, let's talk about the history of capsule wardrobes, because I think this part is really fascinating. I think sometimes we think they just popped up 5 years ago, but the concept of a capsule wardrobe dates actually all the way back to the 1970s. It's actually credited to a London boutique owner, Susie Foe, and she introduced the idea of having a few essential, high-quality items in your wardrobe that wouldn't go out of fashion. These could be augmented with seasonal pieces at that point, but it's this base capsule idea. So Foe's philosophy centered around the idea that with a well-curated collection of versatile basics, a woman could have a stylish and functional wardrobe with minimal effort and minimal expense because you're not having to add so much each season. And then in the 1980s, the concept gained widespread popularity when American designer Donna Karan released her 7 Easy Pieces collection in 1985. Now, this collection was designed to show how a small number of essential clothing items could be mixed and matched to create a variety of looks. Karen's approach resonated with busy professional women who needed a practical and stylish wardrobe that could transition from day to night. Think about it. You had Dolly Parton in the Working 9 to 5 movie. You had women going back into the workplace, a lot more corporate women at this point as well. So this is where that really took hold in the workspace for these 7 easy pieces. And then over the years, the idea of the capsule wardrobe has evolved. It's adapted to various fashion trends and lifestyles. But the core principles of simplicity, versatility, and quality have remained consistent. So today, the capsule wardrobe concept is embraced by people seeking to reduce clutter, hence why I love it, make more sustainable fashion choices, which I am really working on, and simplify their daily routines. Again, remember what I said earlier, when something didn't feel as difficult, when it feels easier, I'm more willing to embrace it because it doesn't feel like I'm trying to impress other people. I'm doing this for myself. And for me, when it's easy, that makes it worth it. So there are some definite benefits of a capsule wardrobe. And especially for busy moms, I think this is just really the reason why so many women gravitate toward a capsule wardrobe. First of all, it's going to save you a ton of time because when everything mixes and matches and works together, you no longer have to stand in your closet and think, what am I going to wear? You can literally just kind of reach in and pick a top and a bottom. You don't have as many pieces to choose between because, again, I know we think that more choice is going to make us happier and more choice is going to give us more options. And that's going to lead to more freedom and all of those kinds of things. But the exact opposite is true. The more things we have in our closet, the more we will stand in our closet and wonder whether we made the right decision. Isn't that crazy? It is that paradox of choice. The more choice we have, the less happy we are with the choice we make, no matter what choice that is. Think about that. So if you have 10 pairs of jeans and you pick one pair of jeans, you might for the rest of the day be like, I really should have worn that other pair because I just like the color of those a little bit better, or I like the way they fit me a little bit better, or those other ones are so much more comfortable, right? You have another option in your closet that you are now comparing your current option to. Where if you only have 2 pairs of jeans, you have a light pair and a dark pair, you say, I'm going to wear the dark pair today because I want to wear a dark pair of jeans. You don't have another dark pair of jeans to wear. The less options you have, the happier you are with the choice that you make, whatever decision that is. It also reduces decision fatigue. So this is kind of another option on choice and making decisions, right? We make so many decisions in a day, especially as moms, because we're making decisions for our entire family. So not just ourselves, not just our kids, but the whole family. We decide what we're going to have for dinner. We decide when we're going to go to the store. We decide, which camps we're signing the kids up for. Like these are all the decisions I have made in the last week, right? We make so many decisions. And so the less decisions we have to make about the clothes we wear that day, the easier our life will be. So if you have kind of an outfit formula or a, certain kind of outfit that you like to wear, it's so much easier for you to pick those things out. For me, my outfit formula is I love jeans and a t-shirt and generally something on top of it. That's what I'm wearing right now. I'm wearing jeans, a t-shirt, and a flannel tied up right in front. So just kind of is an easy outfit for me to put on a regular basis. Sometimes I might wear a cardigan over it. Sometimes I might just wear the t-shirt if it's warm. But again, those are generally what I gravitate toward. I am more of a jeans kind of girl than a dress kind of girl, although I am trying to find a few dresses that I really like because I like the idea of being able to put on a dress and feel a little more put together in a simple way. Capsule wardrobes are really great for time savings. They're going to make it easier for you to get dressed in the morning. They're going to make it easier for you to pick out that outfit. If you have date night and you have specific date night outfits, it's going to be easier to get ready for date night. I remember in my 20s standing in my closet for like 30 minutes trying things on to see if I liked them together. What a waste of time. and just the headache and the stress, because if I couldn't find something that I liked, I would get super stressed out about it. So it helps with all of that, makes everything so much easier. So time savings is a huge one. The next is it's cost effective. Now, as I'm looking at updating my capsule wardrobe, I would not say that it is cost effective immediately, right? That is not the first word that comes to mind because I'm looking at getting some higher quality pieces, but I'm able to buy fewer of them. So the capsule wardrobe that I'm looking at putting together right now, in fact, I have put it together on Canva just so I can see it. There's 15 pieces. One of those pieces is a bathing suit, so that I'm not wearing that out and about. So I'm not even going to count that one. So there's 14 pieces. There are 3 bottoms, 2 dresses, 3 top layers, and then 6 short sleeve shirts that would work within this capsule. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but I think I can get away with that amount of clothing for 4 weeks in Europe when we travel this summer. I have one of those outfits is kind of a travel outfit. So I do have a pair of joggers, a t-shirt, and a zip-up sweatshirt. I'm still debating on this one, whether it feels put together enough for me, but it would be nice to have something for the airplanes because there's a couple long airplane rides, an overnight train ride, and then just a few of the travel days that we'll have. So I do think I'm going to go ahead and go forward with that one. But I have one pair of jeans, one pair of shorts, 2 dresses, and they all mix and match. The color palette is very soft and muted for the summer and spring. It fits with my color card that I have, though, for the colors that go with me. I've gotten away from blacks in here, which is really difficult for me because my whole wardrobe was basically just black, white, and neutral. And so now I'm trying to get away from that a little bit with a little pop of green in here, but it's nothing too drastic so that it doesn't go from one end of the spectrum with no color to the other end of the spectrum with all color, because I don't think I would be happy with that other option as well. So trying to work in color slowly and surely so that I really enjoy what I have. But again, knowing that I'm buying some higher quality pieces, I'm going for some merino wool pieces, which I hear amazing things about and will be really good for travel days. And then I also have linen and more eco-friendly fabrics so that I'm not worrying about what happens with them when they wear out, right? I don't really want to be putting more plastic on my body and back into the environment. So I'm trying to pick pieces that are more sustainable, and more sustainable pieces are going to cost a little bit more upfront, but the quality is higher, and I'm hoping that these pieces would last me for at least a couple years, if not longer. And if that's the case, this whole wardrobe that I'm putting together with most of these pieces new, out of the 14 pieces, 4 of them are clothes that are already in my closet. So 10 of them are new, and they're merino wool pieces and sustainable pieces. I'm looking at spending about $500 with all the coupon codes I found and everything for those 10 pieces, which is only $50 a piece, knowing that these are all high quality items and that they are sustainable fabrics. So I'm really happy with that when I look at what I'm getting for the price I'm spending. So sometimes we have to spend a little bit up front. It's a little hard for me to rip off that Band-Aid, but I think it is totally worth it. And again, we need to go back to cost per wear. I know a lot of people don't like to do math. I love math. So if I buy a pair of jeans for $200 and I get to wear those jeans, let's say 4 times a week, because I don't have that very many pairs of jeans. So let's say I wear those jeans 4 times a week for a year. That is, 4 times 52 is 208 times. And if they were $200, that means I'm paying less than $1 a time to wear those jeans. That to me is totally worth it. Versus if I spent $20 on a pair of jeans that I got at Target, but they weren't high quality and they wore out within a couple months, well, I might have spent less than $1 per wear for those as well, but the quality didn't last. They're definitely not going to be sustainable for the environment. And they probably didn't look as good the entire time I was wearing those jeans than if I would have just spent the money in the first place on the higher quality ones. And also waiting for coupons and sales and those kinds of things can be really helpful as well to get them within a good price point for your budget. The other cost savings you'll find with a capsule wardrobe is that it will reduce the amount of impulse buying you want to bring into your closet, because once you have decluttered it and you've put it all in there and it looks beautiful and you feel great in it, you don't really have the desire to go out and buy stuff. You're able to go shop and look at things and say, that is cute, but it doesn't fit in my capsule wardrobe. Or that is cute, but I can admire it and not have to bring it into my closet. And then you can actually be really intentional about what you do bring in and add pieces that only fit within the capsule. And that will increase the longevity of the capsule as well. All right, the next thing that is helpful is space savings. I mean, I cannot tell you how many times people will come to me and say, my closet's a mess and it's just, it's the outer chaos and it's just reflected on our inner chaos as well. The more clutter we have in our lives, the harder it is for us to do all of the things we need to do to be the best person that we can be in our lives. So when you declutter your closet, it's so much easier to go in there and it starts your day off on the right foot and it just feels amazing. If you have not done it, I promise it feels so, so good. And it just overflows into the rest of your day and the rest of your life. And you're a better human. You just are. You're a happier human. You're a better human. You're going to have a better response when things don't go your way because you started off with less stress in your life. It makes it so much easier to just get ready and be happier, but then it also helps you keep a tidy and organized space because you're not fighting against your storage space, right? You're no longer shoving everything in the nooks and crannies trying to make it fit. Once you actually embrace it and really do a capsule wardrobe, you will be surprised at just how much easier it is to maintain that tidy and organized space. And then I've already touched on this too, but there is an environmental impact. If we could get everybody to adopt a capsule wardrobe, the amount of clothing that we would keep out of landfills and out of the burn piles. So many of our clothes are made with plastic these days. And we talk about this with Lucy Kebble on day 3 of the summit. She talks about sustainability, and she used to work in the fashion industry and was just, really turned off by it. Her story is fascinating, and you will really enjoy listening to her. But she talks about how, I kind of brought it up, about how we have been duped about all the plastic that's in our things. And she really helps us kind of see through some of the greenwashing. So it's a really interesting topic. If you are at all interested in sustainability and the environment, please, please, please check out day 3 of the Capsule Wardrobe Edition of the Chaos to Calm Summit. All right, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we are going to look at the steps to create a capsule wardrobe. Welcome back. I want to talk to you really quickly about the steps to create a capsule wardrobe, but please, if you are interested, come to day 2 of the summit. It is all about capsule wardrobes. So we talk about defining your style. We talk about what goes into a capsule wardrobe. We talk to people that have created them and how they worked for them. But here is how I have created a capsule wardrobe for myself. First, you want to look at your lifestyle. What in the world do you do on a daily basis? I already talked about how my life is all pretty much the same. It's pretty even keeled, so I don't need a lot of difference and variation in my wardrobe, but you might need variation. Jennifer McImary on day 2 has a really good example for this. So if you are questioning what it means and what that means, check out that topic. It's the first talk on day 2. But then once you know what your lifestyle is, the second step is to look at your wardrobe and see what you have in there. What fits your lifestyle, and then what fits you, like your body, your personal style, all of that. Look at what you already have and see what you like. This is our decluttering moment, right? So this is when you look in there and you say, this doesn't fit me, it's out. This doesn't fit my style, it's out. This doesn't fit how I want to be seen, it's out. Or it does fit, and I'm going to put it off to the side and see if it then continues and makes the next cut into my capsule wardrobe. Okay, so that's step number 2. Step number 3 is to choose a color palette. If you are new at capsule wardrobes, Stick with a few base colors. You're going to stick with some neutrals, and then you can add on some accent colors, but make sure that they all, again, mix and match. That's the whole point of a capsule wardrobe. You can have more than one capsule wardrobe. That is fine, but let's start with one. That's why I didn't say declutter based on your color palette. I want you to declutter based on your personal style and how things fit you. And then your color, we can then have a couple different capsules because you might be scared that you're going to get bored with the capsule or it might feel too limiting. And so this way it gives you a backup, but we'll put them off to the side so that you're not having to deal with them on a daily basis. So pick the colors you love and let's start there and build your capsule around that. Karina on day 1 talks about this, where she helps us create this mix and match color wardrobe, because if you're not used to color, I don't do a lot of color. So she has some really good ideas for how we can incorporate color. There's 3 different ways so that they don't clash. So you're not back with that embarrassing story that I had at the very beginning of this. And then step 4 is just select your core pieces. So just like I am doing with my capsule wardrobe for travel, and I've talked about this before, I look at it as a modular approach. And my French capsule wardrobe that is free on my website, I'll link to it in the show notes, shows you how to have 4 bottoms, 6 tops, and 2 upper top layers to create 72 different outfits. So with the capsule that I'm taking on my 1 month in Europe trip, it actually could mix and match to way more than I will ever need for 24 days. But I want to have a few options. And so that is where that can come into play. And then the last step is to have seasonal adjustments. So maybe you will have a capsule wardrobe that is spring and summer based and fall and winter based. Maybe you will have 4 different capsule wardrobes for each of the seasons. Maybe you'll have a bigger capsule wardrobe that can span all the seasons. It's really just going to depend on how you feel. Some people, again, are really into color and they want lighter colors in the spring and deeper colors in the fall and winter. Some people don't care and they have a very neutral wardrobe. So it really will be very personal to you and to where you live. I live in San Diego. I don't need heavy winter items. If you live in Maine, you're going to need a completely different wardrobe than I have on the opposite end of the country. So it really will depend on that lifestyle, your location, and how you feel about color and neutrals to depend on if you need to add any seasonal adjustments or not. So those are the 5 steps for creating a very basic capsule wardrobe. But again, if you want more help, please, please, please come to the free summit next week. It's at chaos2calmsummit.com and you can get your free ticket there. But I am curious to know what you think of capsule wardrobes. Have you done a capsule wardrobe before? Do you struggle with putting them together? I would really love to know. So come on over to Instagram and let me know. You can send me a DM or I will have a post over there you can comment on. I'm at Wannabe Clutter Free on the social channels. Or if you have more questions and you want more feedback, you can come over to the Wannabe Minimalist family group on Facebook and share with the community. There will be a discussion thread for this post, or come and join us in the summit. I'm going to plug it again. It's the chaos2calmsummit.com. If you go to Facebook, if you're into Facebook and you want to join the group there, we have a pop-up group for the summit as well, Chaos to Calm Summits. And just come on over there and we will be talking about the summit this week and next week. It's going to be very lively, but we will be talking about all of the different talks. So don't forget to grab your ticket. You're not going to want to miss those as well. And so that wraps it up for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you are interested in capsule wardrobes and willing to try one for yourself. I can't wait to see how they work for you. And make sure you join me next week on the podcast where I will be talking with Amanda Jefferson. We are talking about digital clutter. So she has some really great tips. She actually was one of the speakers in my first summit, and it was such a highly regarded talk. I knew I had to have her on the podcast as well. So don't miss it. Amanda Jefferson will be here next week to talk with us about digital clutter and clearing that out so that we can clear off those spaces that we just tend to put on the back burner. All right, with that, I hope you have an amazing day. Until next time, keep decluttering, try a capsule wardrobe to see if it works for you, and know that I've got your back. I'm Deanna Yates, and you've been listening to Wannabe Clutter Free. I'll see you next week. Cheers.